everyone. Welcome back to Nerdy Chic Universe, and I am here at Omni Expo with Mr. Bryce Papenbrook,
Hello.
the voice of Eren Yeager from Attack on Titan, and also Hanabusa in Vampire Knight.
That's me.
Yep. You've been to one convention before here in Orlando. How does it feel to be back for one?
It feels great to be back. It was a few years ago that I was out here, and I have a few more roles under my belt since then. And you know, things have just been really exciting with my career. I was, blown away to be able to play Eren Yeager. And right now, actually, I've been very, very busy. I've been recording SAO2. It's awesome to play Kirito again, and Kirito as a girl. And also recording Durarara Season 2. I get to be Masao Mikita again, which is really cool.
Sweet.
Yeah, you gotta love that.
Yep. How does it feel to be at a convention with your fellow castmates of Attack on Titan?
You know, this is a real special convention. A lot of my castmates I had never been on a panel with before, and a number of my castmates I'm just meeting for the first time this weekend. So it's been really fun for me.
I bet.
It's like it sounded like it. We were at the Q&A earlier.
Yeah. Oh, yes.
Yeah.
We actually recorded it. We're gonna put a few bits together, kind of splice it and put it up there for people to see along with the interviews.
Yeah, please tag me so I can check it out. I'm looking out, all I see is lights, so it'd be awesome to check that out and see how we looked.
All right. Well, we kind of heard the short version of the sweet potato.
That's right. You do need to give us the full version of the sweet potato.
The full version of the sweet potato fries story. Sure. So we were recording an episode of Titan, and it's towards the end of the story. Eren gets trapped under this rubble, and there's this metal pole that goes through his shoulder, and instead of pulling it out, obviously he has to go the other direction and go all the way through his shoulder, and he lets out this huge scream right at that moment. So just before I did that scream, it was right around lunchtime, and Mike was like, "Hey, it's lunch, why don't we take a break?" Cool. So he's like, "Hey, how's a burger sound? We'll check this place, Movie Up Burger, out." I'm like, "Yeah, that sounds awesome." So we go there, and I see sweet potato fries on the menu. I love sweet potato fries. And I look over to Mike, and I'm like, "Hey, you want to split some sweet potato fries?" It's like, "Sure." So I order the large, not knowing that the large was for 4 people, not 2. It was literally a mountain of sweet potato fries, which we ate all of. So we went back to the studio. I was probably 10 pounds heavier because I finished my giant burger and all of my sweet potato fries, and stepped back into the booth, and the first thing up was that giant scream. So beep, 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 here comes my scream. It was just impossible for me to get that out, so it's just silent in my ear, and I look over, and Mike and the engineer are laughing at me. And he just comes on, hits the button, and says, "Yeah, let's try that again." So, beep, beep, beep. I physically could not get enough oxygen in my body because I was so full of sweet potato fries. So do not eat a mountain of sweet potato fries if you want to scream like Eren Yeager.
Well, speaking of screaming, does it hurt the throat?
How much, rather? It's like, how long did you have to rest before you could get back in?
It was pretty gruesome. There were definitely like a few days of recovery. I feel like I have a lot of training in screaming because I used to teach martial arts. So I would constantly be yelling at my students, yelling at kids, and yelling at adults all day long. So I have a pretty strong voice. But when you're screaming at that intensity, there is no way you can protect your voice. So screaming as Eren Yeager and screaming as Kirito, those are just 2 characters where there's nothing I could do, and I sounded, 20 years older after I was done with those sessions. I was just sort of like this. "Hey guys, yeah, I just came from recording on Attack on Titan. It was really fun."
Wow. At least you didn't go to the convention afterwards like Viviana.
Actually, I just had that experience.
Really?
I went to a convention in Hawaii, which is rough. Got to go to Hawaii for work. So I was in Hawaii, and I had just finished a role, which I can't talk about yet. But I was doing some really, really insane screams, and changing my voice to a point where it was like painful. So when I got there, I was like, "Hi, I'm Bryce Papenbrook. I swear I'm Bryce Papenbrook. I'm not lying. By the end of the con, I'm gonna sound like myself." But yeah, it's pretty funny when that happens.
I can imagine so, because we hear stories about so many people doing so many screams. I know I'm going to be asking the same question to Josh Brell tomorrow.
Yeah, I mean,
he had that big no moment.
yeah, I mean that's one of those moments that just you hear the way he screams and that pitch that he hits, and it just sends shivers down your spine. I mean, he absolutely nailed that scene. I love his performances on it.
I was in the dorm room back in Daytona Beach watching that scene, and I think I jumped out of my seat at that moment.
I bet. I mean, it is just, it's one of those screams that just sends shivers down your spine, as it should. I watched the show in Japanese before I found out I was going to be able to audition for it, so I was a fan of the show, and I had an idea in my mind for how I wanted Armin to sound, all the characters to sound, and I think his performance exceeded what my idea was for that character. I love his performance.
Well, since Japan is doing the live action versions, how do you feel about a live action version of Attack on Titan?
It looks like some live action versions aren't done right. It looks like they're doing Attack on Titan live, the live version of it the right way. I mean, it looks beautiful. It sounds like it's going to be just epic. So I can't wait to see it. I hope I get to work on it. I hope they dub it.
I hope so too, because I asked Mike about it, and he said, might.
I mean, he knows more than I do.
Yeah.
As a voice actor, I'm usually the last person to find out things because,
Exactly.
they know that we talk for a living, so they assume we're going to talk about stuff that we're not supposed to, so they just don't tell us, and then we can't say anything.
I did forget to ask, how did you get into voice acting?
Actually, my dad was a voice actor. I was about 8 years old, and I went to work with him. I pretended I was sick so I could go to work with him. He was working on Power Rangers. He was Rito Revolto, the skeleton dude on Power Rangers.
No way.
That's your dad.
That's my dad.
Oh my
That's
God.
pretty cool.
I was watching him work, and at the end of his session, the director was like, "Hey, we need a kid's voice," and my dad's like, "He's a kid, throw him in the booth." And I jumped in the booth, and I got to copy him, and that's how I got my foot in the door. So it's been a long time that I've been around the industry, and the last maybe 5-6 years have been extremely successful for me, and it's really awesome that I can carry on in his footsteps, carry the torch for him.
That is amazing.
Yeah.
Because we've been Power Rangers fans for years, and that is kind of a surprising fact right then and there.
There you go. Yeah. Yeah. It's awesome that my pops left that legacy. It's really cool. Yeah, he was awesome.
Yeah, we have something called Power Rangers Stop here in town, so
Oh wow, that's cool.
Yeah, we heard this year they're doing the 10-year SPD reunion. They did get all the actors from the original team.
Wow, that's awesome. That's awesome. I've met a few of the Power Rangers. I know I work with Johnny a bunch. I've played his brother a few times. So it's yeah.
yeah. Well, since he already answered the question about the new projects, don't really ask that now.
Well, and he did tell us about a couple that he can tell us about. Oh,
Yeah. I mean, I can talk about some of the things I'm working on.
like that you were doing sword art.
Yeah, I'm working on sword art. Actually, some things that I'm sure are less known. I mean, I'm pretty far into Sword Art. I actually just finished episode 19. Just finished episode 12 of Durarara Season 2. But I just wrapped on a show